Hello everyone, the MLG Skylander Man 360 here today, and today we are reacting to Parappa versus Ulala. I'm gonna say this matchup for me is a little out of league because I have never played a Parappa the rapper game, and that is also said for even Space Channel 5. I've never played any of both of their games, and this matchup is a little weird for me. But I'm kind of intrigued, so without any further ado, let's begin the reaction. They're really good for older movies, my god. Oh. Alright.
Music-based games have had many iterations and evolved over the years, but during the eras of PlayStation and Dreamcast, these two helped cement the rhythm genre.
Repeating actions and dance moves while going on odd adventures that have led them to the depths of space.
Parappa the Rapper, the dog who succeeds when he believes in himself.
Hey.
And Ulala, Space Channel 5's top news reporter.
For this episode, we will be allowing them other items from their crossover games, such as PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for Parappa and Project X Zone for Ulala. But we will not be scaling them to the crossover casts from these games. And unfortunately, no summoning characters like Alex Kidd and the Altered Beast for Ulala.
Without any further ado, I'm Max and he's Ducko, and we're going to analyze these two rhythm-based champions and determine who should win. Parappa the Rapper lives a fairly mundane life. Well, as mundane a life as he can live in his universe, where the entire world is like Toontown from Roger Rabbit. Oftentimes, Parappa winds up getting the short end of the stick in life, whether he is getting bullied or he's being upstaged by Joe Chin.
Luckily, he's been able to get past these setbacks and go forward with many things in life, whether it be by learning skills like driving, karate, or cooking, or even becoming a famous rapper, by thinking of his mantra.
Yeah, I know. I gotta believe.
This positive reinforcement is what's able to drive him to do ridiculous things.
And given that he says it a lot, maybe even more than Spider-Man's responsibility mantra, this is what drives him to be actually very physically impressive, even with his usually pacifistic nature.
Given that Parappa lives in a cartoon world where loads of ridiculous things happen to him, he's actually really tough. Usually able to tank through long falls and once even a plane crash. Though no, it wasn't like Final Destination where there was a huge explosion. It just sort of plopped on the floor. He also endured being electrocuted so hard that his skeleton showed, like Marv from Home Alone.
In terms of speed, he can dodge missiles, which may possibly give him transonic reactions. And he can keep up with Multiverse, who caught a guitar that orbited around the Earth. This guitar was thrown by Parappa's friend Katie, who Parappa also has direct physical scaling to. Thanks to a friend of ours, Squidly, we got a calc and found these to be relativistic speeds. But that's not the only calc he gave us.
At one point in the game, Parappa is hit by a car, so he and his friends naturally get launched all the way into orbit. Sure. They proceed to fall all the way back down and crash their car into pieces, and yet they're all fine. When our friend Squidly calced this, it came out to be a small city-level feat, which is consistent with some of Parappa's other friends, like Jammer Lamuth, the whole guitar thing.
But you don't develop such feats without significant life experiences and training to back you up. And Parappa seems to train in random things all the time, as mentioned previously.
First and foremost, Parappa can pick up random skills pretty quickly, generally only ever needing one rap song to learn whatever he needs. Most importantly for this episode, he learned karate. With these karate skills, Parappa can kick, punch, chop, block, duck, turn, jump, and pose well. What does the pose have to do with fighting anyways? Parappa's karate, while seldom used, allows him to compete in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Is because it's basically
in further fighting abilities, he can compare to Dawson from Street Fighter, in that he can randomly stretch his limbs to attack from a distance. And he can apparently rap so hard that it sends out harmful sound waves, like Sindel from Mortal Kombat. But I don't usually see it, considering most of his rapping is just repeating what the other person is saying.
I can say this, Parappa once actually did do some genuine rapping, in the comic of all things. But even still, Parappa's rapping is good enough that he can actually persuade people onto his side, such as in Parappa the Rapper 2, when he was able to rap with the main villain and convince him to try other foods instead of just noodles.
Parappa's overall personality can also help him a lot of the time, as he tries to be kind and friendly to others, loyal to his friends, and once again, believe in himself. You said that already! But his main goal is to prove himself, especially to Sunny Funny, the sentient flower he has a big crush on.
I don't see it. He's a dog. Shouldn't he be attracted to other dogs? Though in this universe, I figure it's hard to find another dog.
Speaking of dogs, let's fetch some items. Namely, weapons and equipment.
Oh, wow.
Certainly a transition.
Fetch some items? What was that? Well, I suppose if we're going into the weapons, I'll mention that he has a microphone that he can use as a lasso to pull people in, and then pull off a very hard-to-get-out-of combo.
He also has a skateboard which he can move around with, ride into foes, throw at people, and block or reflect against oncoming attacks.
Next up, Parappa has a chainsaw. Granted, I don't think Parappa's the kind of guy that would use this weapon for cold-blooded murder, unless he decided to become a cannibal who wears people's faces. Jeez.
He also has a baseball bat, which he seems to want to use on a ghost. Good luck with trying to hit an intangible being, Parappa. I suppose it could be of more use against foes on the physical plane.
Man, with these weapons, Parappa is kind of like a thug. I didn't know he was that kind of rapper.
Lord.
We mentioned his pacifistic nature before. Really, Parappa only ever wants to fight out of self-defense. Plus, he's still a kid and still has a lot of learning left to go. But less excusable.
Parappa can get distracted easily, which once got him and his friends into a car wreck while he was daydreaming about Sunny Funny. Keep it in your pants, Parappa, you're on the road!
And as mentioned before, his rapping can be spotty, and when he's allowed to freestyle, it sounds even stranger.
People in the front, people in the back, side, let's walk it.
But I suppose that has no bearing on a physical confrontation.
Regardless of his questionable rapping skills, Parappa the Rapper is a loyal friend to the end, and no matter what the case may be, Parappa will always find a way to come out on top when he believes in himself.
All this time, I've had many, many great teachers help me out. But for me to become a real man, it's time I do this myself.
Space Channel 5 is a futuristic TV channel whose station floats around in outer space, and their top news reporter is Ulala, as Max already said. But in conjunction with these investigative skills and her dancing skills, she's managed to save humanity twice over, once from a shady inside man at her channel, and another time from alien invaders who are forcing people to dance. Wait, don't they all dance already? I don't see the point. It would make more sense, like, if it was, like, forcing them to be bad at dancing or not dancing. Whatever.
Usually, Ulala can be seen fighting off aliens and saving the day. However, to fight off these aliens requires some amount of physical skill. I can't imagine some really fat guy fighting off these dancing aliens. Certainly not.
A lot of Ulala's abilities revolve around her dancing, which she can do for extended periods of time. And it also allows her to dodge projectiles such as energy beams, electrical blasts, and missiles. And even if the missiles hit her, she seems to be able to survive their attacks, and even drifting through space afterwards. Oh yeah, breathing in space is also not a problem for her.
To survive in space, Ulala's durability would have to be superhuman indeed. Also, her lasers from her guns are pretty potent, but I suppose we can get into that from her weapons.
It can also be said that shooting while also dodging takes some ability, such as when she did that against the Morolian Monroe robot. She also manages to outlast Evola, a robot meant to replace her, in terms of endurance and dancing skills. Certainly, it can be said that she has a lot of skills. Skills.
Ulala is a talented dancer, enough so that she can hone what is called her dance energy. This dance energy allows her to create energy blasts, and allows her to sway people's minds, making them dance for the sake of good.
This dance energy can also be enhanced by the audience's reactions, even allowing her to come back from the dead. It can also short-circuit electrical equipment, can teleport people she's rescued, and can even summon instruments for her to play.
Ulala is skilled enough to play with multiple instruments like the guitar, the keyboard, and the drums. Ulala has great investigative skills, able to catch on the plots and get to the bottom of them. Plus, she has taken care of her fair share of hostage situations, again with her dancing skills.
One of them being Michael Jackson, who later becomes president. Wait, isn't this the future? Michael Jackson as president is weird enough, but isn't he dead already?
It must be his hologram.
Ulala has, naturally, a headset and a microphone for her TV broadcasting job. But unlike Parappa, she doesn't throw her mic around to smack into people. Why do that when you have a laser gun? Namely, the tension blaster.
Ulala has two settings for the blasters, Chew and Hey. One is used for blasting the bad guys, and the other is used for rescuing hostages. Thank goodness she doesn't get those two mixed up. She can fire at least 9 blasts of energy simultaneously, and the blasts have a tendency to vaporize and destroy whatever it hits, such as aliens and even meteors half the size of her own body.
Even when she saves people, it seems to cause them to flap into the sky, like another rapping dog, Poochie.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
What the?
Luckily, they don't seem to die on their flights. Much like her regular dance energy, it can also teleport them short distances, usually behind her to act as a dancing entourage.
Ulala also has herself a jetpack capable of letting her fly all around, and she has a tennis racket from Sega Superstars Tennis, where she's surprisingly good at the sport.
She also has a hoverboard that allows her to keep up with the likes of Jet the Hawk and Sonic the Hedgehog on hoverboards. No scaling to Sonic's on-foot speed. Same with her Astro Glider, which is a hover car, later upgraded into one that can turn into a plane and a speedboat. It can also fire a tension blast, which slows other racers down and forces others to dance.
I suppose this is useful if she intends to mow down Parappa.
Ulala's skill has one big drawback. She can't dance if she doesn't have a beat. And as Max noted, she has directional troubles.
Ulala sometimes cannot tell left from right, and she'll sometimes say right when she means left, and left when she means right.
The other big thing about Ulala is that most of her destructive feats come from the tension blasters rather than any of her direct physicality. Though she still has a lot of use for her dancing, given that it can pull off some things normal dancers cannot.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been able to dance so hard that I got anime abilities, so that's unique enough.
Overall, with journalistic integrity and being one of the best dancers in the galaxy, so much so that it has saved humanity not once, but twice, Ulala has proven her experience as a star reporter.
This is Ulala giving you the real scoop behind the Merolian invasion. Over and out. Space Channel 5!
Alright, let's get this little song and dance started.
Whose musical and physical skills will help them win the day? Let's find out.
Here we go. Oh, so, oh my goodness, so like, just walk out like that.
Duck, 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 jump, jump, duck, 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 jump, 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 duck, 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 duck. Duck, 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 jump, jump, duck, 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 jump, 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 duck, 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 duck. Fight.
Oh crap.
Duck, punch, kick.
Ooh.
Jump, jump, duck, duck. Jump, jump, duck, duck. Kick.
Mario's skateboard. I wish if I had gotten that reference, I would have understood it. I don't think he has the physical strength to do that, but okay. I don't know for a kid.
Jump, jump, duck. Jump, jump, duck.
Ow? That's tuba, guitar, and a flute dangerous.
I gotta redeem. I gotta believe. I gotta receive. I gotta believe.
Ooh!
Seems like Parappa showed up Ulala today. There are several reasons behind this. One being that, well, most physicality goes to Parappa. Even though both dodged missiles, Parappa surpasses that with the guitar scaling.
That and the whole space car crash thing made Parappa a small city-level threat. And, while Ulala can tank missiles, that's not really on the same level. And with the whole guitar-catching feat, he was faster at relativistic speeds. Also, it goes without saying that Ulala can't just mow down Parappa for car, since he survived car crashes before.
Ulala did have more equipment on the whole, with better ranged attacks, and could short out and screw with Parappa's chainsaw and microphone, but she didn't have the proven physicality that Parappa had. It doesn't help that Parappa's trained in karate, and has weird Stretch Armstrong powers as well.
Ulala and Parappa's persuading abilities basically counter one another, so that's a moot point. Ulala's tension blasters do vaporize small aliens, but with someone as durable as Parappa, there's no guarantee it will take care of him. Plus, it's very likely that Parappa would be able to dodge most of the blasts.
While Ulala has more professional experience, there was no overcoming the physical barrier, making this Multiverse match's winner Parappa the Rapper.
Alright. Oh, who we got? Oh, come on. You got... You... Oh. Who plays that? Oh, my... Jaw versus Echo. Okay. Well, that was Parappa the Rapper versus Ulala. I have to say though, like, I didn't know technically he had that kind of feat to survive a fall like that. But it's also the fact that with Ulala, I almost had that thought with the technology could be also a defect to him. But, hey, what do I know? As I said, I've never played any of those games. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Later.